We're joined by Eric Metaxas, noted author, Christian, and he's written about these issues for many, many years. Welcome, Eric. How are you?
Well, I'm great, except this is the most bizarre news. It's hard to process, to be honest.
Well, good. I'm not the only one. What's going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on. It's very simple. When the Catholic Church itself begins to go off the rails, which is what is happening, you're forced to look to God directly. You're forced to look to Jesus if you're a Christian, because when the Pope is being confusing, deliberately confusing, on something as unbelievably basic as church teaching on sexuality from the beginning of time, it would be like me coming to a priest with my girlfriend. You've met my wife, Greg. I say, excuse me, Father, I got this girlfriend. Would you bless us, please, together? What would he say? He would say, excuse me, I think you're insane. Are you serious? Yeah, Father, I really like her very much, and I want you to bless my adulterous relationship with my girlfriend. Would you do that? Obviously, they would say no. The idea that this Pope would signal that they're open to blessing same-sex couples is not just madness, it's heartbreaking, because people need clear teaching from the church. What is right? What is wrong? When the Pope does something like this, he basically leads everyone to think that nothing means anything. Everything can change tomorrow. Tomorrow, stealing would be okay. Maybe we don't want to take a firm stand on that anymore. I mean, of course you have to love people, but the idea that you would muddy these lines is very harmful to the faithful, because people want clarity. What is right and wrong? What does the church teach? This is all, it's frankly unbelievable.
Is it happening because of, well, let's face it, the Catholic Church has gone through some significant scandal, priests and children and that kind of thing. Is this a way of trying to get back in the good graces of the world, to atone for that kind of stuff? I'm not saying that's
what I'm
right,
saying. In other words, this is not a corporation. This is not, Apple or Coca-Cola. This is the church, theoretically, the Church of Jesus Christ. And so the idea that they would be thinking about public relations, that this is not an issue of public relations. This is basic black and white. What is the church teaching? What is the biblical teaching on marriage, on relationships between men and women? The fact that he would waffle on this and say, well, we still wouldn't accept it as marriage, but a priest could bless a same-sex couple. How is that different from me bringing in my girlfriend? I don't have one, but if I did, I'd bring him to a church and say, Father, you guys, you have liberal views on these things. Life is kind of crazy. Would you bless me and my girlfriend? He would say, I'm sorry, we can't do that. That's called adultery, and I have to counsel you against the relationship. That's how I'm going to bless you, is by counseling you that this is objectively wrong.
These Cardinals who wrote this letter, and they're on your side, they're on the conservative side, and I tend to agree, actually, but are they going to make any headway? Is this up for debate? I mean, it's
not really a conservative thing, Greg. It's basic church teaching. You could hate it, but it's the teaching of the church. In other words, this is not like something they made up.
I totally understand that, but let me ask you, like, practically speaking, who's going to win this thing? Is it up to the Pope, or do they vote on it? How does it work?
Well, I am not a Catholic, but I've written enough on these things that I can tell you it's confusing. And what the Pope has done in responding in this mushy way, he's kind of kicked the can down the road, but he's done the wink wink, where he's telling people, like, they're already doing this in Germany. Catholic churches in Germany are already doing this. So he's kind of doing the wink wink to say, like, well, we're going to look the other way. It's like, we're not going to prosecute those crimes, but we're not going to say they're not crimes. We're just we're going to look the other way. It's unbelievably confusing to normal human beings who simply want to know, look, what is the teaching of the church? What is right? What is wrong? What efforts should I make? Should I make an effort to have this kind of a life? Should I make an effort to have that kind of a life? I'm looking for guidance, and the Pope has done the antithesis of that. This is like very, very dark times for the Catholic Church. It's astonishing to see it happening.
All right. Yeah, it's so strange. And a previous version of me would be like, oh, yeah, this is good. Lighten up on those rules. But today, where I am now spiritually, thank God, I see the truth. Thanks to you in part. Thank you very much. Eric Metaxas. To be continued. Please check out his radio show and his Twitter and his podcast and all that good stuff. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back.
Thank you.